My father was a lawyer, and I'm told that when I was very young, maybe 3 or 5 or so, I decided I wanted to be a lawyer. I had the great opportunity to practice with him because I was admitted in 1982. He was still practicing then, and so I came in and started practicing with him. So it was wonderful. My name is Marsha Kazarosian. I'm a trial attorney. I practice in Mass in New Hampshire, and I'm also president of the Massachusetts Bar Association. I have been involved in some very high-profile cases. The highest profile one, I think, started with the Pamela Smart case, which was a case in New Hampshire. It was a murder case. I was proud of the work that I did with the Pamela Smart case and representing my client because I felt very strongly that he was entitled to the best kind of representation he could get, even though it appeared that it was against all odds. And then I had the Haverhill Country Club case, which probably is the case I am the most proud of. I was told, how are you going to make a case complaining about discrimination when you're talking about a country club and what they thought was rich Caucasian women trying to golf? It just doesn't resonate. But being treated unfairly is being treated unfairly. I think my passions have to do with trying to fight battles that are really difficult to fight. In the last 10 years or so, I've been doing a good amount of police excessive force brutality cases. Those are very, very difficult cases. The standard is pretty high because police officers are on the front line every day, and they have a very difficult job and they have a very dangerous job. But the reality of it is that there are some police officers that cross the line and need to be shown that there are consequences for that. I graduated from UMass in 1978, and my major was in English. I had a creative writing class. I loved that class. And I have to tell you, the other thing that I loved was I wrote for the Collegian, and I loved doing that too. If you really want to be a lawyer and you want to maybe do litigation, it depends on what kind of law you want to go into. I can't imagine that English isn't going to be the best thing that you can take, because that teaches you how to articulate. And a lawyer has to know how to articulate, whether it's orally or in writing. And if you don't have a strong command of the English language or how to communicate, it's going to be very difficult for you. You can have the smartest people in the world and people who have the greatest position to articulate, but if they can't get their point across, they're sunk. And that's what a lawyer has to do. A lawyer has to get their point across. If you've been practicing as long as I have in a small town where you have a very narrow focus, I think that's something that naturally happens over the course of years. Your concentration and what kinds of cases you take are going to evolve. And I'm very fortunate in my practice that I get to practice with very good friends. I get to practice with my 2 sons. It's a wonderful feeling to be able to come to work every day, surrounded by friends and family, all working toward a common goal to help people. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. The law is a really exciting profession, and you feel like you really are doing good. It's almost like a license to be a superhero in a way. You know, you get to go out there and right terrible wrongs. Degrees in the humanities, in English or arts or those kinds of degrees, they give you a global outlook on things. It's not focused, it's more well-rounded. If I were to do it again, I'd still do it the way I did it. I would still go and major in English. This gives you a general foundation for life. I think that's the way I look at it. It gives you a foundation for life.